All right, everybody, welcome into yourfielderschoice.com. We're here at YFC to present the NFL Final Four Conference Championship, guys. We're going to do an NFL lineup building video courtesy of DraftKings, and obviously a lot of this information is going to translate over to other sites, FanDuel, Yahoo. My name is Adam, also known as YFC V12. I'm just here to bring you a little bit of insight in regards to the NFL building for this weekend slate. We're recording this on Thursday, so obviously things can change, injury news, COVID protocols. So we're going to go based off of my knowledge and some information that we currently have at hand and just really dig in, guys, and see what we can do to build a core for a lineup and look at some different options and talk about the two games that we do have. So as always, if you're viewing us on YouTube or Twitch or any of our socials, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe, the bell for notifications. It helps our site out immensely. I want to thank the team at YFC. Obviously, we have all the sports doing everything right now. Baseball's coming up, which I'm super excited about. Obviously, NBA's in full swing. A lot of our niche sports like soccer, EPL soccer, Champions League. We got World Cup qualifiers, golf, tennis, EuroLeague. I mean, if we have it, esports, right? So all this stuff is available to you. I'm probably forgetting a lot, but I want to jump right into the NFL building video. So jump in with me. We're going to be playing this two-game slate in regards to a classic lineup build, which is going to give you positionals of a quarterback, two running backs, three wide receivers, one tight end, a flex position, which can be a wide receiver, running back, or tight end. And then, of course, our favorite, right, defense and special teams. But that being said, I'm showing you my screen here because I want to kind of give a little bit of what I look at whenever I'm building up a video like this. And if you've seen any of the previous ones, this one's a little bit different, guys, because it's two games. Things can be more variant. I want to cover, obviously, some probably heavier owned leverage plays that we probably need to have in our cash games. But if we're playing tournaments or GPP, you hear GPP a lot if you're new to DFS, that is basically a general prize pool. So you have the opportunity to enter in at a certain amount and win a much larger prize than just doubling up your money. So we're going to jump right in, guys. We're going to start at the quarterback position. There's four quarterbacks to talk about. And the first game we do have on Sunday at 2 p.m. My time, Central, I believe 3 p.m. Eastern, the Cincinnati Bengals continuing to play the David role with all these Goliaths in the NFL, advancing, facing off here against Kansas City. The Chiefs were just in a barn burner of a game. If you saw that game against the Bills, it was an instant classic. It was an amazing game to watch. The end of the game, unfortunately, NFL, this is me shouting out to you. Hopefully you change your overtime rules so both quarterbacks can get the ball. Just food for thought. Don't want to get too much into that. So we have Joe Burrow, as we like to call him here, and he's going to be facing off against Patrick Mahomes. And then, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo facing off against Matt Stafford for the Rams. So that's interesting. Somebody from the NFC West is going to the Super Bowl no matter what. So that is something we definitely want to make sure we mark down. These two guys have played each other twice already this year. In this game with Cincinnati and KC, just kind of digging into the quarterback position, kind of looking at Patrick Mahomes. One thing I did want to mention is that in Week 17, they did travel to Cincinnati, and they played them in a game. It was 31-34. Obviously, that is something that we would love to see, right? Another high-scoring game. I think that this is going to be the more fantasy-friendly game for us to target with two defenses that are a little bit more suspect, if you call it that, obviously, this far into the game. But Patrick Mahomes, obviously, a 40-point outing. He was Superman again, as always. Former Super Bowl winner. The guy was amazing in that game. He is somebody absolutely to look at here. I think one thing to notice is you're basically breaking quarterback into tiers, making this simple. Patrick Mahomes is right up here, 7,400. Then you have Joe Burrow and Matt Stafford right in the middle, 66 and 6,300. And then, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo at 5,400. The one thing I will say, if just are one of those people that just likes to really sweat stuff out and loves to gamble, Jimmy Garoppolo will be in your player pool. If I was to make 20 lineups, I would not put him in one. If I was to make 40 lineups, I may put him in one, maybe two, but that's how low my exposure is going to be on this guy. He's pretty awful. 11 of 19, 57.9% completion, 131 yards against Green Bay. Tough defense. Dallas, tough defense. Less than 6 fantasy points in both of those games here. San Francisco can beat you. They don't need Jimmy Garoppolo to do it. Trust me. So that being said, it's a 3-horse race for me. Personally, I do like I like Joe Burrow a lot, man. 6,600. Formerly, whenever he did play Casey this last time, he had a near 40-point outing. I know that people are probably looking at the Tennessee game. They may be looking at the Raiders game and thinking, well, you want more bang for your buck, right? But this guy has the weapons, obviously. KC is a terrible defense in regards to defending the opposing quarterback. If you're looking at it just from a standpoint of just matchup, they are 31st against the quarterback in regards to all, fantasy points scored against their defense. If you watch Josh Allen against that KC defense, he was just shredding him up. I think Burrow's probably a better passer than Allen, not by a lot. Allen's probably a more complete quarterback, just amazing with his legs, extremely tough, a great, clutch quarterback as well. Joe Burrow is probably my favorite in that range. Matt Stafford, I love. My issue with Matt Stafford is, he obviously went sub 20 points against San Francisco, barely right there. And then, of course, he, 11.82, 26-41, couple of interceptions. I think San Francisco has a really good defense. So the Matt Stafford play for me is more GPP. I think in cash, you're going to play Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow. I'm going to go ahead and put Burrow in for right now. And then we're going to kind of see where we can build with that. The only thing I'll say is that Cincinnati does have a running game. Patrick Mahomes will be involved no matter what. So if you're absolutely like, I just want to smash a play in that I know is going to do well, Patrick Mahomes, conference championship, you really can't go wrong there. But for this build, we're going to play Burrow, all right? And we're going to move over to the running back section. Obviously, Joe Mixon, Burrow's teammate, is going to be up at the top. He was doubted by a lot of people from our team, from other DFS sites as well. Turned out a 20-point outing on only 14 attempts, 54 yards. He caught 6 balls out of the backfield for 51. On DraftKings, we have fantasy-friendly scoring for pass catchers. So obviously, Joe Mixon had a great game there. He's not necessarily touchdown dependent. KC does a really good job of forcing you to pass. So I expect if Mixon's involved in the pass game with screens and whatnot, then obviously he's going to have some great value there. However, that being said, the guy that I absolutely am looking at is Elijah Mitchell here. Eli Mitchell for the San Francisco 49ers. The reason I'm looking at him here is because he continues to get work. He continues to get, balls out of the backfield. 5,900 is not going to break you here. I like him a lot. He didn't score a touchdown against Green Bay, but I think here against the Rams, I think he's going to be vulnerable. I think that is somebody to absolutely look at. I think San Francisco's run D is actually better than the Rams. I think Eli Mitchell and, of course, Deebo Samuel, who we're going to talk about, is going to be plenty involved here. So definitely want to mention them here. There's obviously, Mixon we can play, but if we're going to play Burrow, I think we can kind of fade Mixon here. One guy I do want to look at, group of guys I want to look at here is the KC running back. So obviously Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jerick McKinnon, Derek Gore, looking at Edwards-Helaire here, he's priced up as the highest running back for KC. 7 attempts for 60 yards, which is an amazing, but he had a 22-yard run there. A couple of targets out of the backfield, but it really seemed like when it came down to KC needing to move the ball, who do they rely on? Jerick McKinnon, 10 for 24, more carries than Edwards-Helaire, 7 targets, 5 receptions for 54 yards, didn't score a touchdown, 12.8 points. He's kind of the guy that I'm looking at here. Now, I will say for 5,100, he's priced where he's not going to hurt you. But obviously, he's somebody we have to consider as like, okay, there can be some things that can go wrong here. Now, you can absolutely look at Cam Akers. He had a pretty good game, 24 carries against Tampa Bay for 48 yards, 3 targets, 3 catches, no touchdowns. I think he's a little bit more touchdown dependent. If the Rams get down at the in the red zone, a couple yards out, if they don't decide to throw the ball, I think Akers is going to be the guy to carry. I think Sony Michel's kind of being phased out here. They realize if Cam Akers is healthy, he's a better back. He only had 1 carry for 4 yards, a couple of targets there, -4 yards. So it's a small pool, man. It's four teams, 2 games. I think we have to consider what we have there. Right now, I'm going to take Eli Mitchell out, keep McKinnon in there. He's probably my favorite play at running back and kind of move on here. Going to the wide receiver position, this is where we want to be able to have plenty of salary. I did very well this last week, and I faded Cooper Kupp. You're asking me how? I don't know. Got really lucky, had all the right other plays, but he was extremely good. 35.3 points in DraftKings, 11 targets, 9 catches for 183 and a touchdown. I mean, 8,800, I feel like he is their passing game. Now, if you want to fade him, 8,800, and you're like, you know what, I really want to get some extra salary. I want a piece of this passing game, but I don't want to pay for him. I'm fine with Odell Beckham Jr., man. He had 12.9 points, no touchdowns, caught 6 balls for 69 yards. But just know Cooper Kupp's going to be very high owned. So it's somebody we actually want to slot in there as well. Tyreek Hill, he's back, man. The cheetah's back. As you know, he had that huge catch at the end of the game, 34.8 points, 1 touchdown, a big 64-yard touchdown there at the end. But he did have 13 targets, man. So Patrick Mahomes is like, look, I got to rely on this guy. I got to throw to him. And guess what? He's not 8,800 on DraftKings. So he's somebody we absolutely want to consider here. And then it kind of goes back to Deebo Samuel and Jamar Chase. Let's look at a potential scenario. What if we played Deebo Samuel, who's going to be the entirety of the San Francisco 49ers passing game and some of their run game as well? We want to play him, right? Okay, he only had 11.3 against Green Bay. I get that. But let's just say he's going to be heavily involved. When he played the Rams, 29 points right here. Guess what? His other game, 30 points. He tears up the Rams. So he's probably more of a must-play for me than Tyreek Hill. Now, I'm not saying Tyreek Hill's not a great play. He had 10.2 last time against Cincinnati on 10 targets. I don't think they have anybody that's absolutely going to lock him down. But I think that you have to consider Deebo probably more of a priority play than Tyreek here. But then we're like, hey, we want to play in the flex position. We want to play one of the receivers in the Bengals, right? We have Joe Burrow, so why not? Obviously, Jamar Chase is their best option there. Former teammate at LSU for Joe Burrow. 6 targets. He caught 5 for 109. Didn't even catch a touchdown, man. Still nearly scored 20 DraftKings points hitting that 100-yard bonus. So if I decided to slot in Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, and Jamar Chase, that leaves me for another running back, a tight end, and a defense, only 28.66. Even if I played the worst defense out there, which is the Bengals, and even if I played one of the tight ends here at min price, I'm just going to throw somebody in there, Noah Gray. That only leaves me $3,500 for running backs. What does that mean? We can't do it. So it doesn't matter. So being that we have to decide who we're going to play and who we're not going to play here. So is Cooper Kupp a necessity on a 4-game slate? I don't know. Could we get a cheaper receiver instead of Jamar Chase? Absolutely. But Jamar Chase is only $6,700. So, I mean, it's not like we're, really digging down. Tyler Boyd's somebody I looked at last week, and he really let me down. Only 3 targets, 2 catches. Let's look at T. Higgins. He was out there, running routes, 9 targets, 7 catches, 96 for 16.6. He is absolutely in play. I think here, if you look at this KC game, he had 9 points there. And then what did he have in his previous – oh, I'm sorry. He only played KC 1 time. Let's look at Jamar Chase's game previously against KC. All right, 58.6 DraftKings points. Who is the priority here? Is it Jamar Chase or is it Cooper Kupp or Tyreek Hill? I'm going to just go out on a limb here and be the bad guy of the DFS world and say, you know what? Let me just say, what if we don't play Cooper Kupp? What if we play Jamar Chase? What if we play Tyreek Hill? What if we play Deebo Samuel and we're not paying $1,800 or $2,000 more for a Cooper Kupp here? Okay, well we got some room to play around. I mean, shoot, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel. Let's go down here and say, well, okay, you know what? We really want to focus in on the run game, right? Okay, so run game of the Rams. We want to get a piece of that. Bam, we're going to play our guy right here. Cam Akers. We talked about him earlier. We're going to the tight end position. We got some money to play with now. What can we do here with the tight end position, with the flex position? Defense. Even if we play the cheapest defense here, we have $4,900 between a tight end and the flex. So there's a lot of options here. I mean, you don't even have to necessarily play Deebo if you don't want to. You're like, you know what? I really don't know if he's going to actually kill these guys. Okay, cool. Well, let's not play Deebo. Let's play Cooper Kupp. You have $4,100 left. So there's some options there. So the guy I'm going to keep there, I'm going to keep Jamar Chase. I'm going to keep Tyreek Hill there because I like both those plays a lot. I think they're going to be relied on here in this kind of a shootout environment. And I'm going to move over to the tight end position. All right, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, obviously amazing plays. Travis Kelce is a top wide receiver for this team. Can you play him and Tyreek Hill together? Absolutely. Should you play them together? I don't know. That's up to you. But I will say that the last time he played Cincinnati, he had 13.4 points, and I believe that was on a touchdown, but he only had 5 for 25. So maybe something they're doing in Cincinnati and their defense is kind of limiting him some. I'm actually going to look a little bit further down here. I'm going to just be a little bit more contrarian and say, I don't know if either of these big money tight ends are going to just kill it here today. Tyler Higbee had 7 targets against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, that being said, Tyler Higbee playing against Arizona had 4 targets. But last time he played San Francisco, guess what? He had 8 targets, caught 6 balls, 55 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So San Francisco right here, 11 points, 3 catches, 20 yards, 1 touchdown, 3,700. He seems to be a guy that we absolutely want to look at here because he's cheap, man. He's 3,700. He could be the third option in the passing game for the Rams. And against the San Francisco defense, who's done really well, he could absolutely be somebody who they're going to use, especially in the red zone. I know this is scary. We don't have Cooper Kupp in there, but you can make him work. And we talked about how we can fade some of those guys. So these are all options to look at. This is a short video. We're not going to go much longer here. We're going to talk a little bit about defense. You can scroll back in this video, and if you haven't already given us a like and subscribe and you're enjoying what you're seeing, be sure to do that. It helps us out, man. But with the defense, you have 4 defenses to choose from. What I will say is that defense is not going to make or break your lineup, but it's also going to make or break your lineup in regards to winning big money because you kind of have to catch lightning in a bottle here. You have to catch the team that's going to score a touchdown. So we don't know who that's going to be. My money is on somebody in the Rams and 49ers game. I just think that there's 2 good defenses there, 2 teams that know each other a ton. The margin for error is very, very slim. You can absolutely pick whoever you want here. I think based off of this video, a lot of people are probably going to pick the Rams defense, even though they're 3,200, because it really doesn't break you. The difference between the Bengals and the Rams is only $600. So you can absolutely play the Rams. You can hammer in the fact that, hey, this defense has Jalen Ramsey, has Aaron Donald, has Von Miller, has all these guys. They signed up for the Monstars, right? The dream team for the Rams. But I mean, yeah, they've had some impressive outings. Tampa Bay 7, Arizona 16 DraftKings points, San Francisco 7, Baltimore 13, Minnesota 11, Seattle 9, Arizona 8, Jacksonville 10. But Francisco is not a team that's going to take a ton of a risk in their play calling. So we have to be very careful about who we're going to pick there. So, guys, that's a short video. I'm not trying to just overwhelm you. It's a 2-game slate. There's a lot of ways to go. If you're going to stack and you're going to play a lot of GPPs, my suggestion is this. This is how you build your lineups. And if you're on any optimizer, which look out for that on yourfielderschoice.com because we have optimizers coming out very soon. You're going to want to play something like this. A quarterback, you're going to want to have 2 pass catching options. All right. And then you're going to run it back with at least 1 heavy output offensive player on the other team. So something like this is going to be where a lot of lineups are going to start, or play like this. They're going to play a quarterback catching option, and they're going to play 2 guys. They're going to run it back because this is only a 2-game slate. Or maybe you're going to play a full game stack and you're only going to play a few from the other game. Whatever you decide to do, just make sure you build and correlate accordingly. Check us out at yourfielderschoice.com. The link to our free Discord's on there. If you jump into, our premium memberships, you're going to have access to all of our content, all of our premium rooms, and, of course, our coaches as well. Check my handle out below. Reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord, guys. This is Adam, also known as V12, signing out from Your Fielder's Choice. This is our lineup building video. Thank you. Have a great day.